That guy that killed the CEO.
Yeah, that's just
Oh,
a CEO guy.
oh,
yeah.
So, is there any
Luigi.
updates on to what motivated this?
No, not really.
Wow, that's pretty point blank
He
video.
was, yeah, and he shot him in the calf and in the chest.
Oh, wow.
And killed him. But yeah, that whole thing, I don't know what I believe on that. The guy, so he does that, gets rid of his coat and his backpack, has Monopoly money in his backpack. Did you hear that?
No.
That's what I heard. Yeah,
he had Monopoly money in the backpack.
When they found the backpack in the park, right?
In the park, yeah, in Central Park or whatever it was. And then they ended up finding him in Pennsylvania, and he
McDonald's, right?
Yeah, in a McDonald's. Yeah. Here's the thing about it. So McDonald's, the employees snitched on dude, of course, you know.
Oh yeah, didn't Burger King come out and say, "Hey,
and, yeah,
we don't snitch."
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, that's classic.
It's great marketing. But back to it. So they catch him in Pennsylvania with the murder weapon.
Oh wow.
With I don't know if it was a plant or not. That's what I'm saying. I don't understand it. So he knew what he was doing, but he has the murder weapon and all his fake IDs and shit.
MK Ultra shit.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. That's a little fucked up. To point blank range.
What was that movie?
I mean, you had a good idea. You had a good escape plan.
Right.
You got away,
and then
Manchurian
and
candidate.
then you left a backpack.
Right. Yeah. Well, he left the backpack on
with
purpose.
Monopoly money.
He left the backpack on purpose with Monopoly money. Maybe he wanted to get caught, or maybe it wasn't even him.
That's a statement.
Maybe it wasn't even him.
Yeah, because is that guy smart enough to think of the statement saying,
"Right,
I'll give you fake money"?
Well, he's well educated. Right. He's from a wealthy family.
Right. Yeah.
Then why was he so upset about the healthcare?
They're saying because he had some back surgeries done. But
his family didn't help him.
No, and he wasn't satisfied. So, or whatever. I think it's a big fucking sham. To be honest, I really do. I don't think they got the. I really don't think they got the real killer.
Here's the thing: wasn't this the CEO? Wasn't he like on something with Nancy Pelosi where he was gonna fucking talk about insider trading against her?
Yeah. So there's coming out stories of that. Also Epstein connections as well, and all of these things. But
Epstein, huh? This dude's rich.
But here's what I want to know.
So he wasn't that rich. He was making like $3 million or something a year.
Who?
That fucking
CEO? Yeah.
Well, I mean, he was only like, I think it was maybe, or it was 10 million or something. But it wasn't extremely.
I think this kid's family is almost that rich themselves.
Right. Yeah. They're pretty wealthy. He went to
the company itself is fucking buku dollars.
Yeah. So. I want to know how. So they caught him in 3 days, correct?
Right.
Okay.
You see the pictures. You see the pictures of him showing his smile, flirting with that girl or whatever. So so where you see his mask down there, but there's no pockets on his jacket, which was wild.
Because why are you stopping to flirt with a girl when you're that intense about something?
Right. No. Not only that, but he.
Yeah,
so if you look at
I saw the picture.
Right, but if you look at his mugshot that they got now, his eyebrows he's got a unibrow. How'd he grow those eyebrows back?
And if you guys want to see a better
3 days,
if you guys want to see a better example of this jacket, go to Desert Rat.
Oh, at Desert Rat 130 on Instagram. I did a video a few days ago. You guys will see it. I haven't been doing many videos.
It's a pretty good video, but it in one video he has jacket pockets.
Right.
You know, when he's killing him, right? The dude that's killing, and then the dude that's flirting doesn't.
The dude the dude that kills him has jacket pockets, or vice versa. Whatever it is, has to do with
and
pockets.
Then the other one doesn't have a jacket pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
It's a real thing.
And again, when they caught him, this guy has a unibrow. This guy has a unibrow when they catch him. The Mangione guy does. I mean, it touches in the center. He looks like Bert and Ernie, you know.
No
hey, Bert.
Shit.
Yeah. And then, and then the other guys, you can see his eyebrows are back. How do you grow that in 3 days? It doesn't happen. I mean, even Italians don't do that. Italian women grow a mustache in 5 days, but not 3.
Yeah, at least 5.
Ukrainian women, an hour.
It's just a shadow at that point.
An hour, yeah.
It's just a 5 o'clock shadow till then.
You know what I mean? But something's real fishy about that. Something's off. Something's way off.
Yeah, that doesn't sound. That sounds.
Why would you wear white gloves too when you take your shot?
Especially after I've been like on prison break.
Right.
You know, now I'm like, maybe a conspiracy went down for sure.
Yeah.
That dude's pretty fucking rich. I mean, it could have been it could have been, but don't you think you want to do it in a different way?
Right.
Well, not that I planned any murders today, but usually when I murder one,
it's a little smarter than that, right?
You would hope.
Like, because you just walk up, that sounds like someone else did it, and then they frame this kid.
Right.
Yep.
They're like, oh, he's walking by, he's wearing a jacket. We know his normal routine. This is what he got, so this is what his clothes. Boom. You know, all you have to do if you're fucking setting him up is just fucking get his closet, Go into his fucking house, see what's in his closet, order everything damn near the fucking same, and whatever he's wearing that day, you have your fucking guy wear and fucking go do it.
Right.
Then fucking he's down in the park at the other end. Boom, you fucking e-bike down there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, he biked out of there and he got all the way to Pennsylvania. I guess he didn't make it to Mexico or wherever the hell he was going to go,
but
it doesn't make any
but
sense.
at the same time, does this kid have any kind of other
De nous. As the French would say, de nous.
any kind of other like alibi?
No, nothing. They're saying they're not really releasing anything on it.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's pretty fucking wild. But that company's fucking worth a lot, and I know that company's pretty crazy. Like, they went through like they got hacked. They got fucking hacked, and then their money they were supposed to give to these clinics, they couldn't pay these clinics, and the clinics were like, "Dude, we need this fucking money that you promised us," and United Healthcare was like, "Bro, we can't give you this fucking money until we get our fucking money back. But what we can do for you is buy your whole fucking clinic and you can work for us.
Yeah.
And we'll give you a percentage."
Wow.
And a lot of people were having to do this. I think this was like a big thing. I don't want to be wrong, but I think it was California and Texas that was like happening. I think it was for sure California. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
I didn't hear about that. Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like a whole thing, dude. Like, and that's pretty fucking greedy, you know. But the fact that he had like insider trading knowledge, that's what I've heard, that he like towards not himself maybe, but towards
he had
Nancy
information.
he knew Nancy Pelosi, or he might have been
involved.
But I think he was going to testify against Nancy Pelosi.
Right.
And then boom, another Democrat hit.
Right. Yeah. Well, there you go. Yeah.
Like,
and I don't think it's Democrat or Republican as much as it is deep state, whatever
I
the
don't
fuck,
know.
whatever the fuck the deep state is.
know,
It doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on.
if you're going on percentages,
well,
Hillary fucking really helps.
Well,
bring it up.
yeah.
A long hit
What's
list.
that, 72 or something? Yeah.
Long hit list.
Did, yeah. That whole fucking Arkansas shit was crazy.
Oh, what
wanting the property, and they're just fucking like bam, 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 bam.
Right.
And then that Judge Scalia was on her case, and bam, bam, bam.
Yep.
Well, did you see the one?
Next thing you know, I'm fucking talking about it. Bam, bam, bam. I fucking come down with cancer. I don't know.
Nice knowing you, Alex.
Did you see the one in Arkansas where the guy they ruled it a suicide? So check this out. So he was a Clinton person. You know, I think he's the guy that let Epstein in to the White House and all this shit. So he knew a bunch of things. And what they did was they found him dead, hung by an extension cord in a tree with a shotgun blast to the chest, because that's how we all commit suicide.
Yeah, hanging herself at the same time as shooting.
With an extension cord. And they couldn't find the shotgun. Well, they like 3 days later or whatever, they found the shotgun 30 or 40 yards away because the cops apparently didn't look over
He could
there.
throw pretty good after he shoots and hangs himself. Come on.
Yeah,
Can't
right
you?
through the chest. Yeah.
Yeah, I can throw a good 100 yards after I've been shot and hanged.
Every real man can.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't think you can, I think you can.
Yeah.
I have faith in you. Go try it.
Especially if you want to change the narrative. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No, don't really try it. That's
they found it 30 or 40 yards away from him after he hanged himself. And, you know, of course, that was ruled a suicide. And we got to go with that.
Yeah, of course.
It's fucking wild, dude.
Isn't it?
Well,
the world we live in is fucking dangerous and it's wild right now.
Dude, if you really think about it, all these fucking hits and all this shit that we don't even know about, like
they're better in Motown, man. They got a hit like every other day, man.
But like I'm talking about like big hit, like these motherfuckers, like everybody that's came up with some kind of idea to fucking like free energy,
right?
You know,
You
know, they're dead.
Yeah,
we were talking about
all of them dead.
Well, look at Nikola.
Look all of it up.
Look at Nikola Tesla. They didn't kill him, but they destroyed him.
And then
how did he die?
Stole all
he
his
died of old
stuff.
age. They stole all his stuff.
And then they counted it up, and then there's a bunch of them missing.
That's right, because wasn't Barron Trump?
That's a conspiracy theory.
Donald Trump's
uncle.
But wasn't he the first agent? No, not a conspiracy.
He's in charge of
it. He was actually
a physicist who was in charge of getting all of Nikola Tesla's thing. Now, there's a book that was written. You guys were talking about time travel earlier when we were outside.
Yeah.
There was a book that was written. I can't remember the writer's name, but it's about the last president. I think that's a series that is called The Last President, or The Amazing Story of Barron Trump, or whatever.
Right.
But it's got Trump and Pence and all of these things that are going on in there. Now, John.
I forget the name of the book, but
it was The Last President.
Adventures of Barron Trump.
Yeah, the series is either The Adventures of Barron Trump or something like that. Yeah, but the thing about that whole deal is that Nikola Tesla, when he died, John Trump, Donald Trump's uncle, was the lead guy that got all the information. Have you ever seen
And in his report, he stated there's nothing of value in any of this.
Right.
And I will get rid of it.
Wasn't there like a bunch of crates of this shit that came
Yeah.
up missing?
Yeah.
16 different boxes, I believe. Some of them, 12, are in a museum over in Nikolai's home country.
Right.
Oh,
In a
yeah. I heard
museum.
there was a museum. Where was this museum?
In his home country in Budapest or someplace like that.
Romania, whatever. Yeah, here we'll look at.
And I've actually seen a show on the museum where they walk through and show the remaining cases that they do have.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's nothing in them.
Yeah. All that shit's gone.
Yeah.
Nothing of value, but we stole it.
Yeah, nothing. of value.
You can have the rest. That's
Right. So they're saying that, they're not you know who's they, but there's stories out there. There's conspiracy theories out there that Trump has traveled, or at least his family has traveled time, and is
Never heard that.
Oh yeah, there. Yeah. Where's all your?
you go up to the upper one instead of YouTube to look up.
I'm on YouTube.
Go to the top.
Jesus Christ.
Top
Okay.
area.
I didn't know I was on YouTube.
It's all right.
Yeah.
That's our Jamie. We're low budget.
It's all right. It's new technology. You'll get a hang of it.
Absolutely.
Nikolai.
And shout out to Gary for giving me a new computer.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Gary.
Well, that's
And shout out to Carl, just because I know you watch this one, brother.
Hell yeah.
Nikola Tesla.
Yep.
Serbian.
You know what? My daughter-in-law's
Serbian.
a Serbian.
Right.
So she might know his people.
He was a smart man.
Oh, he was brilliant.
Didn't he power wasn't it Denver
Well,
with static electricity?
Yeah. So that's the whole thing about Tesla was he was more into that. It's not free. I guess it is free energy.
it is
Yeah,
free.
he was
because
helping people.
capturing
Yeah.
energy from the clouds, from the
He said
atmosphere.
Yeah,
you
that's free energy, bro.
you could put a rod in the earth and space it out with another rod in the earth and get energy from it.
That's what he did. That's what he did
Yeah.
with the fucking.
Right, which is what we have here. What is it when these don't run through cables? What do? They run to towers, which run.
Yeah, but
so
we pay for that free energy.
exactly. That's what I'm
That's
saying.
not free from us.
So they had to wait to give it to us until they could charge for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy.
But it's still low frequency energy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Fucking crazy.
It's low frequency
And then
radio waves.
there's another system out there. I just heard about this the other day that's 10 times faster of any phone service system we have. And I forget what it's called, and I don't know why we don't have it. But it's out there. They're aware of it.
Is it a Tesla thing?
No.
Or not a Tesla, but I mean
He hasn't done a lot lately
what's his
because he's
name?
been dead.
No, I meant Elon Musk. I meant Elon Musk. But fair enough.
Yeah, he did die.
I meant
Yeah.
Elon.
Yeah, as you can see.
Elon.
Come on, Nikolai. They're trying to blame me for
Yeah.
shit that happened 40 years after you died.
Yeah, he died in 2020 or whatever.
Yeah.
1943 is when he died.
43.
January
So he's
7th,
been
Yep.
dead for 61 years or whatever.
43.
Okay. I'm wrong.
81 years, I think.
Long time.
Yeah.
Yes.
81 years.
So
81.
stop blaming him for shit.
You know,
Well, I was just kind of wondering how the funeral was when you
Yeah.
went there. So,
Hey, it was good times, man. The buffet was to die for.
but anyway, they destroyed him. He died broke
Yeah.
because they wanted to invest into Thomas Edison
Yeah.
instead of him because Thomas Edison had a way to charge.
For a
You
light
know, they
bulb.
tried to give a Nobel Peace
Thomas
Prize.
Edison, the light bulb.
Yeah, Thomas Edison light bulb, and a
He
few more.
also stole that though, didn't he?
No.
wasn't that a stolen invention?
Well,
Wasn't,
one of his people did it.
I feel like
He took credit for all of his people at his
Well, it's
Menyo.
it was kind of like
whatever it
Alexander
was
Graham Bell. Didn't he take the telephone too?
yeah,
that was Marconi.
Marconi was the first telephone.
But Graham Bell took
he took credit,
Credit
patented
for-
it, and made
Sure.
the
And
money
some
off of it.
people said the Wright brothers stole from the French guys.
I've heard
Right,
that
right.
too. I heard that too. But they were the first ones to actually be in the air, though, right?
Footage of the air was the important part.
Yeah, they weren't the first one to think about it, but and I'm sure people wanted to be birds. Since they
Not
could look at
bad for a
birds
couple
and-
bicycle repairmen.
Right,
right?
Yeah.
For real. It wasn't a like bicycle harnessed and they
Yeah.
fucking like rode until they could fucking glide
Yeah.
or some shit.
Right.
Kitty Hawk.
Okay, yeah. So it wasn't like motor propelled. It was just kind of a glider though in the first place.
It was a glider.
Yeah.
The plane they flew in Kitty Hawk was
Was it motorized?
that was
Motorized.
propelled. Yeah,
Okay.
that was propelled.
Well, I
For
thought Orville.
Redenbacher.
No, but
Wrong guy. Popcorn.
I thought Orville had something to do with like the beginning of flight.
Wilbur and Orville.
Wilbur and
Yeah.
Orville Wright built the first.
Oh, they were the right brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were the
Oh,
Wright, yeah.
Shit.
So they built the first
Yeah.
plane that flew a certain length without killing them.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we had flight before that. Again, we talked about that earlier. I think we
Yep.
had balloons. We had the Hindenburgs. You know,
Hell, they had
the
balloons
blimps.
during the Civil War for battle
Yeah, absolutely.
optics.
Yep.
When was like the first squirrel suit? Was that like a thing?
That's
jumping
recent.
off cliffs?
That was in Frostbite Falls and Bullwinkle came up with it.
Okay, Rocky.
Right, no.
And he said, my buddy should fly, and I'm going to help him.
The first working one is fairly recent. I think it's in the last 2 decades.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's been people that have tried it
And fucking died.
and died. Yeah. Yeah. And that's been
Watch me pull a rabbit
that's
out
been
of my
for-
hat.
several centuries where these people have put these squirrel suits on and just
I mean,
lawn darted down into the concrete.
you gotta
whatever.
try it till you get it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Wow. A
Yeah.
base
So-
section.
So I think
right.
that's mostly a fairly recent thing within the last 10, 15 years or so, maybe 20. And those are crazy too. There's actually been people that have landed those. So they fly off a mountain or whatever, and then they come down and they had no parachute.
Yeah.
And then
Oh.
land.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
But that the physics makes sense to me. I feel like, of course, it would hurt. So I want like a grass fieldy or a snowy,
Right.
a snowy cap.
Something
like
that's
spot.
that's not a rock.
But I feel like
Yeah.
coming
Gravel.
down and
Gravel
actually
landing
like
zone.
stopping
Yeah.
without having to stop like too abruptly and like shot,
Right.
hurt
It's
yourself.
kind of like coming
You have
off.
to kind of like wean it
Yeah.
and then stop and then
yeah.
come.
Yeah. It makes
You know?
sense. And it's probably because we've seen it. I mean,
But on paper, I feel like it works.
yeah.
Yeah.
Going to try
Oh,
it
no.
might be different.
On paper,
on paper, it works.
on paper, communism works. So there's
Good point. Good point. No one's
That's why the
actually made it
Democrats are-
work.
Right. Yeah. On paper, communism's a wonderful thing.
Oh, yeah. Everybody gets fed.
That's
and
why we
I-
have history, because we
Right.
shouldn't repeat.
Yeah.
That's why history needs to be readily available for
I
everybody,
agree.
so that we never repeat dumb mistakes and dumb ideas.
Right. Yeah.
It's always been my favorite subject.
Like letting the-
absolutely.
like let-
science is pretty cool too.
like letting the elite run the fucking world as usual.
Oh,
You know?
morons.
yeah,
And it's been that way for
But
since the dawn of time.
until
I guess.
we can all band together as a one,
Yeah. You
we're
can't-
fucked.
yeah,
I
you
I
fight
can't take on everybody.
it. Mhm.
I take
But
on
if
3
we
people and
had
then get beat up.
universal consciousness, we could change anything we wanted in an
Right.
iota.
See, and back to the MK Ultra thing that we talked about on the last little deal there. That's another thing they did. I was thinking about it when we were outside. The remote viewing part of that is very, very short. I think there's like 2 videos or two audio tapes that do the remote that talk about remote viewing, if I remember right. And they went deeper into that.
Oh, heck yeah. Decades worth.
You want me to look into a fucking envelope and see numbers? Okay,
Yeah.
but what about looking? Why aren't you teaching me how to look into the mountains of fucking, I don't know, Israel or fucking whatever, just across the room, and then it kind of goes into something else, But the cool thing about that whole gateway experience, or the gateway process, was you can manifest things, and I know that works as well.
Absolutely.
Manifestation's another thing.
Yeah.
I believe
And
that's
it's all
true.
it's all mind
a mind
control.
thing.
Yeah, it's all mind.
I believe you can make something happen, because you know
Yeah.
what,
Good or bad.
I feel like every time something really, really bad has happened to me,
Right.
I feel like I've made the best of the situation with just not freaking out in my mind and making it happen. Like being like, this is gonna be what's gonna happen. This is gonna
Right.
be
Yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna be fucking
Yeah. you could
affected
do
by
that.
this. Like everyone thinks.
Right.
I'm gonna be fine, and I feel like my brain made it fucking happen. But I've also been in like situations where I knew someone, like I had a buddy, and I just had this feeling all of a sudden that his girlfriend was cheating on him.
Mm-hmm.
And she was going to the store, and I'm like, fuck. Told my other buddy, I was like, hey, let's go to the store and follow this bitch. We follow this bitch to the store. Guess what she's doing? Getting picked up by a dude.
Right.
I knew
That's weird.
that day
was-
that was going to happen. And there's been times that I knew things were going to happen before they happened.
Right.
So that I was prepared for
do,
it.
you know about, deja vu? I've had many occurrences where I could have swore I knew the conversation before I had it
Oh, well,
with a person word for word.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
absolutely.
been
And I knew what they were going to say before they said
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
And that just kind of spooks me out a little bit.
Well, deja vu, the actual scientific definition of deja vu is when one eye records faster than the other, so you think you see a conversation twice, and hear it twice.
But weeks or months in advance?
No, or years. Even.
But it
Years,
seems
man?
like it. That's the actual. But here's the thing: is I don't know. I'm kind of like that. When I walked down and I was a kid, and I was 11, 12 years old, and this happened. I walked downstairs. I was at my grandparents' house, which my grandpa just died yesterday.
Oh, bummer.
But
man.
I was at his house when I was a kid, and it was Sunday, so I was supposed to go to church, and they called me downstairs like, "Hey, Alex, time to come downstairs." And on my way downstairs, I was like, "Oh, this is bad." And then my mom was down there, and I'm like, "Oh, Dad died, huh?" And she's like, they're all looking at me like, "What the fuck? How'd you fucking know?
Right.
Like, are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fucking fine." Then I remember like my grandpa being like, "I'll be your dad now," and I'm like, I don't think I ever want to be around these people no more. Like, I was pissed off for a long time about that
Right,
comment.
right.
Like, it hurt my fucking feelings. Like, you think you're gonna be my dad?
Right.
Like,
I tell you what, I've seen
my
some
dad's
weird stuff.
fucking cares about me, and I'm like,
Yeah.
not that he didn't care about me, but on a way different level. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, my grandpa had his fucking 7 daughters, 9 daughters, or whatever the fuck it is, and the son. You know, and like, my dad had like, as far as I knew at the time, just me. You know, like,
Mhm.
you know, well, and my little brother wasn't my dad's, but he was my little brother. But
Right.
he was artificially inseminated. But yeah, I was just like, my dad was like my best friend. You want to come say this shit? But I already knew though, walking into the fucking room though.
Yeah.
Like, that's what's gonna happen.
You
This
can-
is this is already it's it.
You can feel that shit.
And
And I don't know what that is.
That was like
but-
the first time that I've ever had that experience.
My daughter's
But I've had
super
that since.
psychic.
Yeah.
And we were living in Germany. She was living at her grandmother's house with her mom for a while. And her grandfather was sick. And she got up out of her sleep, went in to get her grandmother, which was asleep in a different room because he had a lot of health issues, and woke her up and said, "You better go help Grandpa. He's going to die right now." He was still living at that point. As soon as she got in there, he died. Now, she knew he was going to die before he died. And that was weird. And then when her grandmother died, we were in a house living in Georgia, Alabama, or whatever the hell we were living. And I would hear her talking in her room late at night. And I go in there and say, "Who are you talking to?" This is before kids had cell phones. And she said, "I was talking to grandma." And she would have these half an hour long conversations with her grandmother,
That's
who'd been
fucking
dead
wild.
for years.
It's
Yeah.
fucking wild.
And it would freak me out. And then every once in a while, when you corrected her, she'd give you the evil eye, like she could basically set you on fire and have you a pile of ashes in front of her if she wanted
It's
to.
wild.
And it would freak me out.
Oh, absolutely.
And then she kind of grew out of that. But boy, she was
I feel
Well,
like I've
she was
heard
in
about
touch.
a story about like this girl, like young girl, that fucking was like, "Oh, we got to go here to this fucking house, blah 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 blah. This is where the murder happened." It was like some basement and shit.
There's been a
Wow.
couple of those.
Yeah,
out-
and it was
yeah.
like supposedly maybe their past life or something, and they're like, "This is where you found me." Almost like that one movie with Kevin Bacon in it, The
Right.
Sixth Sense or whatever it is, where it's like digging up under the ground and finds the bodies and shit.
Right.
Like,
I thought Sixth Sense was a Bruce
oh,
Willis.
it is
Bruce-
okay.
yeah.
It's a different one, but it has Kevin Bacon in it, and he's like buys this house or something, and he's digging up, and he keeps and his like has his wife there, and they're like getting pissed off because he's obsessed with like digging up, and it was like this 16-year-old girl that fucking got murdered there because like the guys were drinking and at a party and fucking like this is an abandoned house and they fucking raped her and then they buried her under the basement and
Wow.
the parents like helped, I feel like, of all these kids. So it was like a whole thing. They didn't want him to find it, but and then the parents came down to like kill him or some shit because he found it. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, with me, what I've experienced in that neighborhood, with my own kids, Danielle, to be specific, my daughter.
Fifth Element.
No, yeah, I don't think it was a Fifth Element, but I don't remember. I kind of remember the movie. I don't remember.
Good
what it was,
movie.
but
Multi-pass.
my daughter Danielle, she would always go like talk and be like, "Who are you talking to?" Grandpa. She said Papa, but she was just little. She was like 2, she'd Papa. Well, one day, so my dad died in May of 98. My real dad did, May 98. When I talk about my pop, that's Terry. That's my stepdad. He's my pop. But my real dad, my biological father, died in 98. And my mom, when Danielle was about 2.5, I had some old photo albums out. Okay. And now, so my dad died in May of 98. My daughter was born in October of 98.
Mm.
Okay. She never met him.
Mm.
He never held her, never seen him. my mom brought some photo albums out, and they were looking through them, and she goes, "That's my papa. That's my papa,"
Wow.
and pointed at my real dad, who she had never met, never seen. So, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't believe in
I do.
ghosts or the supernatural or whatever, but I believe.
I have a question.
believe.
Were you around your father when he physically passed away? Like,
No.
Okay.
No, I was not. Actually,
I was just thinking of an energy
yeah.
transfer kind of.
No,
because that's
no, I wasn't.
that's wild. Like,
Mhm.
and maybe he passed his energy, like you said. You know how you were talking about you can fucking maybe out of body experience.
Right.
Maybe he passed his fucking energy all the way to you.
Well, you know, if you
As
Or
he was
to your
dying.
daughter.
If you
well,
or to the
him-
daughter, the family,
Yeah,
well,
waited
as
a
whole.
while and passed
Oh
on.
well, I guess it would be through to the pregnant wife.
Yeah, yeah. So you
already at the point because
you know you
but passed it to the new life. Maybe he did that.
yeah, absolutely. And I think that's how, you know, when family, you know, when family dies, people always say, well, they're with you, and it's true. That is a true statement.
Mostly in memory and in brain, but
Right.
like physically, maybe they are with you too. You never
physically,
know.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe especially. I feel like if you take a man's life, you consume his energy.
Yeah.
You take that aura, you take that fucking extra fucking energy he has, and it may not make you necessarily like physically any stronger because you're taking this energy, but it's gotta fucking give you some kind of fucking
Quickening.
like maybe a brain, like almost knowledge. Like that's what they say about like even eating monkey brains. You know, like
Yeah.
they used to paddle their skull so they weren't fucking like killing their brain and keep it alive, and they crack open their skull and then eat their fucking brains
Yeah.
while they were living so that they can gain knowledge. Wow. Like
Hmm.
fucking wild as fuck.
There's
There's like
actually-
a Tibetan
Hannibal
thing.
Lecter,
Right.
you know.
There's actually stories about the
Yeah.
elite doing that with the elite doing that with children as well. So yeah,
Taking
Wow.
like their adrenochrome
Yeah.
and shit. Like
it's not
that
even
gland.
adrenochrome at that point.
Never even heard that term.
There's a
Adrenochrome?
adrenochrome.
Yeah, what's that?
It's like
Ooh,
a
boy.
fear gland. And they
Um,
take this like gland, like all your fear gland, and they take it and they fucking drink it to like gain knowledge and power, and like
Wow.
it's a whole fucking thing.
have you ever seen the movie Monsters Inc?
Stay young. They stay young
Vaguely.
with this, is what they
Yeah,
say.
wow.
it's a cartoon.
Right.
And it shows these monsters that go and they terrify these children. So
Mhm.
these elites,
And they get
according to
energy
the
off of it.
according to the conspiracy theories, which I've delved into pretty deep, I believe them. Part of it anyway. But what these people do is they scare these children, and what it does is it oxygenates the adrenaline, and then there's the pineal gland, which is right behind your head. So it oxygenates it, I think DMT maybe, and they get this like euphoric effect. It's kind of how they stay young and Hollywood
Wow.
and all of this shit.
It probably is like a DMT high. They're
Yeah,
taking it
yeah.
from.
What
And
they
they're just
say
getting
is
high off this.
it's not like you see God, it's like you are God.
Hmm.
I remember these quotes from 2016 when Hillary Clinton's laptop, or Anthony Weiner's laptop had Hillary Clinton on it doing some things that were pretty.
So they're just
suspect.
killing these children just to get high.
Yeah, which is why we have an open border. So
I mean, I'm not saying
of it
allegedly.
anyway.
This is alleged.
yeah, allegedly. Yeah, of course.
Legend.
But if this is happening, that's fucked up.
Right. I mean,
Really?
well, they say we've lost 350 to 500,000 kids from the open border since Biden took office.
Wow.
Oh wow.
These are undocumented children who nobody will ever care about other than their fucking mother down in Peru or Colombia
Yeah.
or wherever.
or
The mother
wherever they killed her and left her in a fucking grave.
Exactly. So nobody will ever know these kids are kids. That's
They
the whole
do
thing
it off
about
the
undocumented.
reservations and shit too. They
Yeah.
steal these Native American girls.
Yeah.
You ever hear about all the kids missing in federal parks?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you mean?
They're just
they
coming
get
up-
kidnapped.
Out of federal
Vanish.
parks
It doesn't happen as
Yeah.
much as it did, as much as it used to, and
in the 80s before they had.
yeah, before they had internet, which was internet's the town square we have now.
Yeah.
But
But they were turning up missing all the time.
what's kind of wild
Yeah,
is
but now everyone's got a little phone in their pocket.
Since-
Recording
since-
motherfuckers.
once our border was opened up, our child abductions were lowered.
Really,
Yeah, the most prolific child.
our child abductions are low.
Right.
Yeah, so they're not stealing our kids; they're taking kids from countries that nobody cares
because it's
about.
easier.
Haiti,
Oh.
Yeah.
Peru, whatever the fucking countries.
Well, I
it
mean,
doesn't matter.
it-
Ukraine.
And I guess in one way for America, that's a win.
Not really.
If you look at it like
You're
that,
a
it's-
twisted man.
no, I'm not saying it's
No, I
a
see.
win
They're
for
not-
us because
they're
they're
not-
not taking our kids.
right, but they do
right.
have a
Because
they
we
have
blow-
a hunger for
Hey, but
kids.
when we're in war, we'll fucking blow up kids. We'll fucking
Right,
throw a
right.
bomb in there and not give a fuck.
Right.
I'm just saying, I'd rather like I guarantee every other country would say they'd rather it be ours than theirs. I'm just
Right.
saying.
No, I
the
get
same
it. I
thing.
get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get that.
Like,
Yeah,
not that I want it happening at all,
At all to any
Right.
kid.
but I would rather it stop
Thank
happening
you for
here.
your last point. Yeah.
What needs to happen is these
Yeah.
elites need to quit that shit, or they need to be dealt with. What needs to happen is these
Oh,
elites
man,
need to be
they all
dealt
need
with.
to be fucking-
If
They
they,
all need to be
if they were
didicized.
touchable, we'd
They all
already
need-
touch them.
They all
they're
need to be
touchable.
didicized,
Well,
and fucking put in prison,
Yep.
and not just put in prison. Once they found convicted guilty,
Yeah.
we should bring back stoning.
what needs to
Like
happen?
public stoning. Put them
Yeah.
out in fucking front of public,
Yeah.
tar and feather them, do whatever the fuck
Right.
we put them in the stocks. Let's embarrass.
Eat their brains on
Let's
camera.
take. Well, I'm just saying no. I want them to live through.
I don't want to eat
I want
anybody's
them to
brains.
live through public shaming like they shamed many people
Right.
with the fucking events
What?
that they fucking did, and then
Yeah.
you have PTSD through. I want him to fucking feel the embarrassment.
Torture.
I want him to feel the embarrassment and know what it's like to be a piece of shit, not just some rich person that thinks he can do whatever the fuck he
Right.
wants.
Who's
Right.
gained power
That's-
because of money?
And that's bullshit. Fuck him on that.
Yeah.
And what needs
You know
to,
what I mean?
what truly needs to happen is the people need to realize that they are not untouchable. Those
No,
people are not
all of
untouchable.
them.
They are very touchable.
All of them.
So did you see the videos of the guy that shot the CEO with all the security around him,
Yeah.
making a show like if you fuck with CEOs, this is what happens to you. They didn't do that with Diddy. Diddy was fucking kids.
Yeah.
Dude, they should have done way more with Diddy because that shit's way worse than killing
Yeah.
the CEO.
I agree.
Hey, and I'm
Right.
not trying to minimize the fact that the CEO got murdered by any means, but touching kids is worse
Yeah.
than murder.
Yeah.
Period. Because
Yeah.
you're traumatizing them for life, not
Absolutely.
just ending it.
You destroy their soul,
That's
and that's the truth
fucking
of it.
horrible.
And me personally, I believe that's what happened to what's the kid singer?
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Oh, Lyme
I
disease.
totally believe.
No, Lyme disease. Yeah.
I totally believe he's fucked up because of Diddy.
Well,
Right.
so I don't necessarily, and they say there was like him
Michael
getting fucked.
Jackson and those kids and fucking
Well, Michael Jackson.
Macaulay Culkin.
Michael Jackson was set to. I don't
believe
think he
Michael
was
Jackson
a
was-
toucher of kids
I don't believe it was either.
at all. I think
believe
those
that-
kids grew up and fucking actually came out, and one of them was like, I saw this thing where he was like, dude, he never touched me. I was
Right.
told to say this by my fucking mother, like she needed money, blah 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 blah. He never fucking touched me. In fact, all he was doing in front of me was hitting on women.
I believe
Like-
that Michael Jackson was innocent. I believe that Macaulay Culkin is the biggest instance of that. One of the biggest instances.
Of actually doing it? Or
No. Of people
Being
saying that he
framed?
was molested, by
Oh.
Michael Jackson. But I think happened is Macaulay Culkin's dad molested him, sold him off for power and money type shit, which is why Macaulay
Maybe.
Culkin doesn't
I don't
talk to
know.
his dad.
Yeah.
But if he talks about that shit, they'll kill him. I mean,
I'm sure because
Yeah.
they're up there. They're
Yeah.
P. Diddy powered. But look what P. Diddy. I think P. Diddy had something to do with fucking Tupac. I think
Biggie.
P.
Oh, I
Diddy
do
had
too.
something to do with Biggie Smalls.
Yeah.
Hey, think-
Daddy, your
I think-
so soft.
I think Biggie probably got away with a lot of shit. I think
Mm-hmm.
Biggie had fucking power. They say Biggie had or not Biggie, Puffy,
Tupac or Puffy. Yeah.
Diddy.
Diddy.
I think he had a lot of power. I think that he had actual fucking tunnels in his fucking house
Oh yeah,
to
he
other
did.
people's
Yeah,
houses.
yeah. So did the CEO, by the way.
I think
Hmm.
that
The CEO had tunnels.
that's the easiest way to run fucking children, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
All the way to your house. Like
Now, do I think that he got killed over that? No, I think he got killed over some bullshit.
I think
with
Tupac got
Pelosi.
killed over getting. We're gonna talk
Getting
about
lip-
how
getting
fucking
lippy.
Tupac's fucking a little gay and
Yeah.
wants and what he's doing,
Right.
what
yeah,
he's
yeah.
up to. Hey, bitch, I'll fucking tell on you.
Right.
You think you'll tell on me?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Too